Right, hello. We're going to be doing this exam question for 2025. So this is question 15 in your OneNote notebook. Right, okay, so the first off, we've got student, teachers, merits and terms. Now we could just do the whole, highlight the primary and foreign keys here. That will be a start, so we can see a student there. So we can see there's a student and merit straight away, so let's just draw. So we've got student there and merit. Now if you remember, the primary key goes to the foreign key. So there's the primary key there in student, and there's the foreign key. It's really easy to see. Right, next one we're going to do is teacher. So we have a look at teacher. We can see that teacher is ID, is the primary key, and it appears in merit. So that's nice and easy. So again, we can do that one again. So it's teacher and merit. And there we go. So there's one. Now we've got another one called term, and you'll notice that doesn't link to anything. Okay, we've got term name in there, year, term year, we've got start and end date. There's nothing else that links with that. So we have kind of term on its own, but we'll see later it does have some effect. Right, so there's our relationship. So there is the answer basically for the first one. So if I scroll down here, so student can have many merits, the teacher can have many merits there. Now I'll stop there, but you can have a many-to-many between those two as well. What a lot of people do is they put the many-to-many in the wrong place. Right, so let's go back to this question here. It says, when a merit relation was first designed, it did not contain merit ID field. Instead it contained value student ID, teacher ID, and date awarded. So let's have a look at the merit on that. So the merit, it says, didn't have the merit ID. So it was just these fields here with the primary key. So if a student got a merit, the teacher ID who recorded it, the teacher ID who recorded it, and the student who recorded it, and the date it was awarded. Okay, so let's pretend then the merit down here. So we have student ID 1, that's Dave, teacher 1, Rob, and the date is today, which is the 19th of 10, something like that. Now, what would happen is that those are the primary keys. So if someone else got a merit, so let's say little Billy got a merit, same teacher, same date, that's fine. But the problem is, if the first one, and I've forgotten his name already, got a merit from the same teacher on the same date, that would no longer be unique. So it wouldn't let you do that. Okay, so that's the problem. So basically, what we've got to say is then that we're not allowed, would not be able to store, be able to award a merit to the same teacher, to the same student, from the same teacher, more than once. In a day. Okay, right, there we go. There's that bit. Right, now next one then is this one. Now again, I think the wording's a little bit horrible there. A new student is joined the school. The student is called Ethan Smith and the year group is 7. They are placed in the home house and given the student ID now. Write SQL to add. Okay, so it's now remember, you've got to remember the format here. Don't go making up your own stuff because it doesn't work. Insert into insert into the table and then the values. So the table for 1 mark is student. We've got a mark. And then the values. Now you need the brackets. If you don't put the brackets in, because it only gives you full marks if it works correctly. Okay, so these are going to match up. So we're going to have the student ID first, then the first name, last name, year group, and house. All right. So the values are 17423, 2, 3. Now that doesn't go in quotes because it's a numeric field. I think it said it was numeric somewhere. Next one is first name, which is in there, so it's Ethan. Then it's Smith. And keep going. Who's next after that? Year group is 7, which is numeric field. And then what's the next one? Is, oh God, come on, Brown, switch on. 7. What's next? Yeah, the house, which is Hulme. So either single or double quotes, Hulme. Right, don't forget the quotes and don't forget the brackets, otherwise you won't get a mark. So you're basically going to get a mark for that and that. Okay, right, so there we go, there's that one done. Right, at the end of the spring term, summer 2025, the school needs to identify with the students who achieved merits during the term so that prizes could be awarded to them. The dates of the term are stored in the term table. Right, here's the term table stuff happening. Oh, I'm going to have to screen capture some of this because you can't see it. Right, so I'm going to just go back up and get that. Could have done it first, actually. Right. Let's put that there. And also get that as well. Right. Right, okay. So, right, so we've got term on its own, which is just hanging around. Not really doing a great deal. Right, okay, so the first thing we want to do is think about what's in our select line. Now, a lot of people are going to lose marks straight away on this one. Now, I'll type this as I've got this open on the keyboard. You can read it here. So select from where order by. Okay, so there we go. That's the structure. I think if you get that structure, you get a mark. Okay, but you've got to get that. All right. So the term table. They write a query that lists all the merits that are awarded during the term. For each merit in the list, the first name, the last name of the student awarded the merit must be included together with the reason for the merit. So those are the three things only that go in there. All right, so they've got to get the names right. So it's first name. They won't, if you get the case wrong, last name, and then reason. The case doesn't matter. Right, now I'm going to just ignore the term thing for a minute. Okay, but we will need, well, no, let's not. Well, we know from first name and last name, they all come from there, and that reason comes from merit. So we know straight away that we want stuff from student and merit. Okay, so student, comma, merit. Now we won't get a mark though because we do need to access the term table as well. So we'll put the term in. We've now got 2 marks. Okay. Now what I would suggest we do straight away is just link up student and merit. So it's student dot student ID equals merit dot student ID. Okay. And right, so that gets us that. Right, now a couple of things. We want to know about the term, the end of the spring term. So it's spring term that we want. Now where are we going to get that from? So we're going to get that from the term name. Okay, so let's do that then. So term year and term name. So term name equals spring. Okay. gone for spring. Okay, spring. Okay, and term year. I'm looking at this over here. Term year equals. Now that one's a numeric field, so that's just going to be 2025. Okay, so that's that bit done. Okay, so there's a bit of in there. Now what we need to do is only come back with the ones that are in that correct date. So what we have to do is another and we're going to say where date awarded. So this is the date awarded field there. So we only want it to match up. Now is greater than or equal to the start date. Now the start date's in term and the date awarded is less than or equal to the end date. Okay, so that's those two things done. Right, we're nearly done. So we've linked up, we've got the term, yeah, I think we've done. What we've got to do now is the order by, and that's by student ID. Now I had to write the name of the table. I could have done merit.student ID, but because it's in both, okay, we have to do that. Now obviously this is a pain because everything's underlined and it looks terrible, but hopefully you get the idea. So let's just now make this a little bit easier to read. Right, let's make that a bit bigger. And bold it. Right. Okay, so let's just go. So those are the fields we're displaying. That's from those tables. There's the linking of the primary and the foreign. This bit here is only bringing back the term name and the term year from those dates that match there. Okay, now, and then that is sorting it there. Now by default it's ascending, which is what we want. Okay, so don't put descending. Some people type ascending. It will be, if you type it ASC, that you're not going to lose a mark. Okay, but that will give you the marks. Okay, so that is cool, and it is tricky. It's tricky. It's not that easy. Now, right. The next one, merits database, can be accessed on any computer within the school. It's possible that two users might try and edit the same record simultaneously. Okay. Now, so we're basically talking about the lost update, but we'll have to talk about that in a bit more detail. So the user that saves their changes first will be lost, or could be lost depending on what they ever do. Now that's it basically. So the update, there's not a lot more you can say about that. I don't remember what he said. So there we go. So the user that saves their changes first will be lost, as the second user will overwrite the first. Okay, there we go. Right, okay, and then that is it. So that was the question from last year. No one really likes those sort of questions, but there we go. Hopefully that makes some sense. Right, let's call that a day. Thank you very much.